Just like that, all of this stuff begins flooding back into his life. And in less time it takes to mention it, he's right back in the same pit that he was to begin with. And in the end, what he thought, hey, this was not possible. Something that he thought was never possible has happened. And now he is far worse in his condition than he was the first time around.
That's right.
Because now he's got all of this, and I've talked to people like this. It may not be pornography, I'm talking about recently, but other things that entered into their life, and now they're overwhelmed with shame. And it seems like they just fall deeper and deeper and deeper into the pit. So what's happened here? Well, this is what's happened. The devil has called a retreat so he could set up an ambush.
Right. Yeah.
And people are walking right into it today.
That's it, Lord.
This man made a mistake. He got rid of the bad things in his life, but he didn't replace it with anything good.
Right.
You see. That evil spirit left. He changed a few things in his life, but his heart never changed. His heart continued in the same state that it was in. He cleaned his house. He swept it up. Amen. He got rid of the dirt. He cleaned the crud off the floor. He put new carpet down. He wiped the graffiti off the wall. He cleaned the sink out real good. And all of these things. He made the house look good, but he didn't put anything in the house in the place of the evil that he cleaned out of it.
That's right.
So the house was furnished and ready for somebody to move in. It was clean, but it was empty. Jesus said this man was worse off in the end than he was in the beginning.
Right.
Many people seem free. Many people who seem free are struggling.
Right.
You don't know what somebody may be struggling with here today.
That's right.
I don't know what it is that you struggle with. You don't know what it is that I struggle with. And none of us should really be surprised at this. I think many times about what Paul said in Romans chapter 7 when he talked about this daily struggle between the good and the evil, or the spirit and the inner man. When he talked about, hey, the things that I don't want to do, that's what I do. And the things that I do, that's what I don't want to do. Who's going to deliver me from this? Of course, just paraphrasing, he thanks God for Jesus Christ, who is the one who can deliver from this state. A lot of times, we think we're better off than we really are.
Right.
We clean up pretty good on Sunday morning. We come to God's house and we're all dressed up real nice, dressed up, pressed up. Amen. We know what it's like. We know how to go through the Sunday morning routine. We know what to say, but there's a story behind every face that's sitting in this place this morning.
That's right.
And if you get to know people long enough, you'll discover everybody's facing something. Everybody has a hard time with something. Everybody falls short in some way, in some capacity. If we knew the truth about one another, I'm talking about if we could take the innermost thoughts and truths about one another and put them up here on the wall and play them on the projector this morning, we'd all run out of this place. If I knew the truth about you, if you knew the truth about me, if we all know the truth about each other, I believe we'd be shocked this morning, don't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's struggle in every life. There's people today who are struggling with anger, fear, resentment, bitterness, one type of sin or another, one type of temptation or another, critical spirits, self-righteousness, dishonesty, lying, cheating, stealing, doubt, unbelief, unforgiveness. And we go to church and people just don't know our story.
That's right. Right.
They don't know the real truth behind our faces. And we don't want to say anything about it because everybody thinks we're a good church person.
Right.
And what would the other good church people think if they knew the truth about me? So this man's in a bad place. His friends didn't know it. Because the battles of the heart, what you go through on the inside is rarely seen by somebody else. So he cleaned up. He had a moral reformation, if you will. And we need to, give him some props for what he did. I mean, when this demon came back and he saw that the house had been cleaned and swept and all of that, the clutter was gone, the dirt had been swept up, the walls had been fixed, the windows repaired, and all of this, grass mowed, landscaping, flowers planted, everything looked good. We think about this and we know many times, because we've been there, how difficult it is to change. And it seems like the more we progress in life, the more age we get on us, the more experience we have, the harder change becomes, because we're set in our ways. But this man worked hard to clean things up. He made some improvements in his life. He made some pretty good improvements. It's always good for you to get rid of that filth in your life. It's always good for you to get rid of that disorder in your life. But his victory didn't last because it was an incomplete victory.
Yeah.
You see. Think about this. Small victories can be a curse for you because they can lead you to pride and they can lead you to destruction. We've already heard what pride can do and what God thinks about pride in the Sunday school lesson this morning. It can give you a sense of incomplete success that makes you look in the mirror and congratulate yourself thinking you done something. You see. It makes us think, well, you're the one who made this happen. You're the one who did this. You're the one who deserves the credit for breaking that habit. You're the one who deserves the credit for cleaning this thing up. You're the one who pulled yourself up in this situation. Well, I think about the old story about seeing a turtle on a fence post. One thing's for sure, if you ever see a turtle on a fence post, you can rest assured he had some help somewhere.
Yeah.
He didn't get there by himself.
Yeah.
No, somebody had to take that turtle and pick it up and set it on the fence post.